Greetings everybody, I hope you're good. Let's quickly have a look at USD ZAR. And as you can see, we are on the monthly chart. And just to recap, remember guys, the last time we spoke about this particular currency, we had mentioned that we have this very nice M structure, which has a first leg on this side and the second leg is on this side. And by now you guys know that whenever we have these structures, which is the M structure in this case, a lot of traders sell on the second leg of that M structure and they place their stop losses just above, right? So what this means is that we have a lot of stop losses that are sitting in and around that area, and what normally happens is that the market will usually go up to trigger all of those stop losses and then potentially push further down, right? Another thing that motivates that we might potentially see the market push further up is that we have this candlestick over here. It is a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, and by now you guys know that it tells us that we have a lot of liquidity sitting at that point. And you also know that liquidity is actually money that needs to be grabbed by the market at one point or another, right? So what else do we see, guys, in regards to this particular chart of USD ZAR? Another thing that I see is that as much as we have, guys, like I said, this M structure, we also seem to have a potential M structure on this side. However, it is just missing that second leg of that M structure. Should one of the next candlesticks close as a bearish candlestick, we will indeed then have a complete M structure. However, bear in mind that it also could be a trap, because like I said, there's a lot of money sitting in and around this area, and the market may potentially give us a confirmation that this indeed is a smaller M structure, only to push further up to grab all of those stop losses that are at that point, and then potentially only push further down, guys. I just hope what I'm saying makes sense. I just want to mark that one candlestick, which is over here, which is as I said, guys, this candlestick over here, which is a liquidity candlestick, right? So we have a lot of money sitting at that level, as I've said, right? So what else do we see, guys, on this chart that we should be paying attention to? Another thing that I see that is also very much interesting is that we had this overextended W structure, which has a neckline at that point. It's an overextended W structure because that first leg is much higher than that second leg, and whenever it comes to these structures, you guys know that once the market has closed above the neckline, which is over here, the anticipation is for price to push further down to the neckline to test it, and then at the neckline push further up. And that's exactly what happened, right? We saw price breaking to the upside of the structure, coming back to the structure to test it, and at this point we saw the market push further up, right? Some of you may say that price didn't really come down to the neckline, and I would say that I disagree with you, and that is because necklines are not actual lines, right? They are rather areas, right? So we could say that this whole area over here is the neckline of this overextended W structure. In fact, before you proceed, I just want to add that structure, which is the neckline of that overextended W structure, and it is also now a very strong level of support. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. Let's have a look. There we go, right? So we could say that this whole area over here, right? We could say that this whole area over here, just bear with me, guys. Let's have a look. So we could say that this whole area over here, as I said, is the neckline of this overextended W structure, right? And we saw price, as I said, coming back to that level to test it and then pushing further up, right? So what else do we see, guys? What else do we see? At this point, I don't see much. I'm just gonna head down to the weekly chart. Just bear with me while I do so. Let's have a look. Here we are on the weekly chart, right? And just to recap, guys, remember on the monthly chart we spoke about how we have this huge M structure, and we also mentioned that we have a lot of stop losses that are sitting in and around that area, right? So what else do we see, guys, now that we are on the weekly chart? Remember, guys, I also spoke about how we have this potential smaller M structure, and we're just waiting for one of the candlesticks to close as a bearish candlestick, and if that happens, that'll be confirmation that chances are that the market will push further down, and at least to this level over here. Why do I say this level? That is because this level over here is now a very strong level of support, and it's also the neckline of that overextended W structure that I spoke about, or that we spoke about. Remember that, guys. Anyway, let's proceed, guys. So what else do we see? Just to zoom in, another thing that I see that is also very much interesting is that, guys, as much as we have that overextended W structure that I spoke about, can you guys also see that we have another overextended W structure at this point, which also has a neckline at that point? Can you guys see that, right? Let me just actually add a neckline to that structure. Just bear with me, guys, while I do so. So we could say that our neckline more or less is at that point. Let's see, there we go, right? There we go, right? So what else do we see, guys? Another thing that I see is that we have these 3 candlesticks or 4 candlesticks, and they all have pins to the top, right? If we were to go down to the smaller time frames, we would see that this area over here has actually expressed itself as a double top or a triple top, right? And similarly, or rather similar to if we can just zoom out a bit, let me just zoom out a bit, similar to this W structure, or rather this M structure that I spoke about, right? Let me just zoom in a bit. If at this point we also have informations or an information or a triple top, bear in mind that it means we have a lot of stop losses that are also sitting in and around that area, right? And that is because, guys, as I said, whenever it comes to these kind of structures, a lot of traders and investors sell on the third leg and they place their stop losses just above, right? If it's an M formation, they sell on that second leg and they place their stop losses above, right? So in my humble opinion, guys, there's a very big chance that these series of candlesticks, these bullish candlesticks, are actually rushing up to grab all of those stop losses that are sitting in and around that area, right? Hence we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strong bullish candlesticks, right? So what this tells me is that there's a lot of money sitting in and around that area, guys. Anyway, let's proceed. So what else do we see, guys, that we should be paying attention to? At this point I don't see much, so what I'm gonna do is head down to the daily chart. However, before I do so, let me just also point out that your price from where it is push further down to this level to test it. At this level is where we would look for potential buying opportunities, and especially if this level over here, which is the neckline of this W structure, and also a very strong level of support, if it aligns with any key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool, then that would add as confluence, and that would say to us that indeed we should be looking for potential buying opportunities at this point, potential buying opportunities, and our take profit should be, our first take profit that is, should be this level over here, right? That should be our first take profit, that is, should price come back to this level from where it is, right? Anyway, let's proceed, guys. So what else do we see at this point? I don't see much. I'm gonna head down to the daily chart. Just bear with me. Here we are on the daily chart, right? Remember, guys, on the weekly chart I spoke about this area over here. And I said to you guys that chances are we have a triple top at this point, or a double top. Can you see that we actually do indeed have a triple top? And like I said, guys, we have a lot of stop losses that are sitting in and around that area, and stop losses represent money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another, right? So as much as we have all of that money sitting at that point, guys, at the top in the form of stop losses, can you guys also see that if we were to zoom in, we would see that the market has also created another overextended M structure, right? It's an overextended M structure because that first leg is lower than that second leg, right? And we might potentially see the market push further down, right, to at least this level over here. And as I said, guys, this level over here is the neckline of that W structure that I spoke about, and it's also a very strong level of support. And should price, as I said, come back to this level, we will indeed be looking for potential buying opportunities, right? Anyway, let's proceed, guys. What else do we see that we should be paying attention to? I don't see much, but I will do what I will do rather at this point is add my daily channel, and I would add it in this manner. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see, how would I add my daily channel? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit, and I would add my daily channel in this manner. Just bear with me, guys. Right, it's a very steep channel, and myself personally, I'm not really a fan of these steep channels because they are easily broken, right? Nonetheless, let's continue. Let me just zoom in a bit. There goes our channel. I just want to make sure that it is as accurate as can be. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. That should be fine for now. Anyway, let's proceed, guys. Remember, we spoke about how we have, as I said, guys, this M structure. It's an overextended M structure, and as much as we have this overextended M structure, can you guys also see that we have this opposing structure, which is a trend line, and we've had a touch over here, a touch over there, and potentially another touch over there. And some people already are buying, right? And others are looking for potential selling opportunities. In my humble opinion, I don't think we should be selling at this stage, and that is because, as I said, we have this very strong triangle, and if we were to sell, I would actually wait for the market to close below this neckline of this overextended M structure, and also to close below this trend line, right? So should price from where it is push below that neckline, ideally you want to see the market head back to the neckline to test it, and then at this point is where we would look for potential selling opportunities, and our first take profit should be this level over here. And I also said to you guys that at this level is where we should potentially be looking for buying opportunities, and that is because this level over here is a very strong level of support, and is also the neckline of that W structure that we've been speaking about, right? Why also would we be looking for potential buying opportunities at this point? That is because, guys, if we were to zoom out, remember I spoke about on the monthly chart that we have that huge M structure, and that there's a lot of money sitting in and around that area, right? So there's plenty of scope for the market to push further up to grab all of those liquidity points. So at this point, I would not be getting too excited about selling, because there's still a lot of money sitting at the top. I'm just gonna add a neckline for that overextended M structure. There we go. Right, so just to recap, guys, just bear with me. Just to recap, right, I would not be selling at this point, right, because a lot of people are also selling because they see that M structure. I would rather wait for the market to close below this neckline, as well as to close below this trend line, right? And then I would look for a potential selling opportunity. And as I said, my take profit would be this level over here, which is the neckline of this W structure, and it is also a very strong level of support, and it's also where we should be looking for potential buying opportunities, right? Anyway, from here, what I'm gonna do is head down to the H4 chart. On the H4 chart, I'm just gonna fix my channel, so just bear with me, guys, while I do so. Let's have a look. H4 channel, more or less. And just remember, guys, that when it comes to all these structures that we add to our charts, we just need to ensure that for the most part they are as accurate as can be. Just bear with me, guys, bear with me. Let me just edit afresh, actually. Let's have a look. Here we go. Just bear with me, guys. There we go, more or less. There we go. Let's see. Just bear with me, guys. I just want to make sure that my channel is as accurate as can be. Let's see. there we go, 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 right? And there we go, more or less, there we go, right? So as I said, here we are on the H4 chart, and just to recap, on the H4 chart we spoke about, rather on the daily chart we spoke about how we have this overextended M structure, and I said to you guys that we should rather wait for the market to close below this trend line, as well as below this neckline of this M structure, and then if it does so, we can potentially look for opportunities at this point, and our first take profit should be this point over here, and at that point is where we should be looking for potential buying opportunities. That is, if the market from where it is actually, you know, breaks the zone, you know, pushes down to the neckline, right, and then heads back to the neckline to test it, and at that neckline is where we would look for selling opportunities, and at this support area is where we would be looking for buying opportunities, right? So that is it, guys, as far as my analysis goes of USD ZAR. I know it was a bit long and detailed. Nonetheless, I just wanted to be thorough as much as I can be, and just to make sure that you guys understand what it is that I'm trying to, you know, get to you. Nonetheless, that is it, guys, and as far as my analysis goes, as I said. And if you like the content, guys, and if you would still like me to do more videos of USD ZAR, please let me know, and just like and subscribe, right? And peace out.